What's going on, Movie Meals? Our top 5 most anticipated movies of 2020. The new decade is starting. We're going to get into it. So, Kyle, do you have any honorable mentions? And then what's your number 5?
Honorable mentions would be Dune, the Pixar movie Onward, as well as Soul. That one seems to be pretty cool. And if the New Mutants ever does debut in theaters, maybe that one too. I don't know. Let's see.
It's coming. We're getting a trailer.
Is there a good? Oh yeah, no, we talked about that before. There's supposed to be a trailer in January. We'll see.
All right, what's number 5?
My number 5 is Last Night in Soho. It's supposed to be a movie directed by Edgar Wright. I'm just happy to see what he's going to do next after Baby Driver. I just really love Baby Driver so much. I'm curious to see where he's going to go behind. True. I mean, yeah, Kevin Spacey aside, I do really love that movie that he did, but it's supposed to be a time travel / horror type of movie, and I'm very curious to see how he's going to pull it off and what it even is. So, yeah, that would be my number 5.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Throw that in my honorable mentions. Onwards in the honorable mentions. Birds of Prey, I'm curious about being the R-rated is in my honorable mentions. Black Widow, seeing how they kind of deal with the MCU. But going into my number 5 is A Quiet Place 2. I want to see John Krasinski because I think he knocked it out of the park with A Quiet Place. I think it's a great horror film. It's a great sci-fi movie with a great premise. Now we're bringing the fight to them, and it's his second directorial debut, or his second directing thing. And I really want to see if he can handle it, if he can make 2 good movies, a sequel really well, and really expand on the lore, expand on the drama. And so I'm very interested to see Quiet Place 2.
And that is my number 4, A Quiet Place 2. But I am more curious than anticipating for this one because I don't really want to
anticipate
A Quiet Place 2. It's just not something that I thought was a very good idea. I just loved the first one so much and just didn't feel the need for a second one. But if John Krasinski is able to come back, well, he is coming back. I'm hoping to see if he did find a way to be able to make a worthy sequel to what was so great and what was so done well in the first one, that maybe it could just be a pleasant surprise for me and could make me eat my words. I would be more than happy to see that.
My number 4 is Mulan, baby. Mulan. Let's go get it, girl. Let's get it. I love the story of Mulan. It's one of the best animated movies, and the animated live-action remakes have been very hit or miss. I very much like Cinderella. I do not like Maleficent. Maleficent. Lion King is the same movie. It's fine. Jungle Book's incredible and fantastic, where it took the liberties it needed to. Mulan looks like what I wanted. Let's take the source material. Let's use the songs a different way. Let's show this different culture. Let's show how great this story really can be live action. Put a big budget behind it. Give it a great director, give it a great cast, some newcomers, and make stars out of people. And this movie looks like it's going to be what I've wanted out of the Disney live action remakes because it looks fantastic, and I love the idea of not making it a musical. Don't make it a musical. Use the songs in the background, in the score. I think that's a brilliant way to really adapt this story, and I'm excited and can't wait for Mulan.
Well, my number 3 is going to be Scoob, the Scooby-Doo animated movie. Whoa. And it's just because the 6-year-old in me who loves Scooby-Doo all his life is just so happy to see a new interpretation of Scooby-Doo in general. I'm curious to see how there's supposed to be other Hanna-Barbera characters involved in this movie as well. I'm dying to see how that's going to work out. But just the child in me is ready to see another Scooby-Doo movie, and it just makes me happy. I'm excited.
I was for Little Women, they showed the SpongeBob movie coming out, and I was like, this is similar to the Scoob plot. Like, the only difference is Scoob isn't kidnapped, but, like, they show the origin story, and then we're going on an adventure. I just thought that was funny. Scoob's title still is ridiculous. It needed a better title. But anyway, my number 3 is Marvel's Eternals, because this is going to be such a different movie for Marvel. I'm curious to see how they're going to handle this type of direction. There's rumors that we're going to see a young version of Thanos with Josh Brolin. I'm very curious about that. And and then we're also supposed to see Thanos before he attacked, and I'm very curious about all that. I want to see this incredible cast. I mean, they brought in guys I've been wanting to be main leads in Marvel movies with Kit Harington, And my other Game of Thrones boy, I always forget name movie
Richard
Madden? All this. Richard Madden, yes.
Yeah.
And
Brian Tyree Henry, yeah.
Yes, and then the guy who just got ripped.
Oh, Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani.
Very impressive, by the way.
Good work, baby.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm extremely curious to see if they can, if this is going to be Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're really going to draw people in. So yeah, that's number 3 is the Eternals. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Wonder Woman 84. I loved Wonder Woman when it first came out. I still love it to this day. And the trailer just looks like it's going to be a blast of a movie. It looks like it's going to be kind of like a spy espionage movie set in the 80s, but for Wonder Woman to tell her next chapter in the story, excluding Justice League. We'll just forget about all that. But I'm very curious to see how they're
release the Snyder Cut 2020. That's my resolution, baby. I'm amping it up. More billboards.
Release the Snyder Cut 2020. But anyway, it just looks like a really cool movie. It just looks like it's going to be a blast. I'm very curious to see how the next arc of her story is going to go about. And that's all I have to say about that. That's my number 2.
My number 2 is very possibly your number 1, and it's, I don't know, but we'll see. It's Tenet. I think Tenet, I'm excited. It's time to see Christopher Nolan go back into the sci-fi genre. What is he going to do? Is this going to take place in a similar universe to Inception? What are they doing with time? He's dead. I'm confused. I really want to see it. I love Chris Nolan. I think he's one of the best working today. He's not afraid to, a movie like Interstellar, I don't love, but I think it's extremely ambitious. I think it's risky, and I love that he takes risks, he challenges, he makes incredible, interesting movies that I do want to see. And Tenet is my number 2.
Yeah, and that's actually my number 1.
Called it!
Yep. I was excited for this movie before the trailer, but after seeing it, I'm even more excited for it. I'm just ready to have another Christopher Nolan movie of any kind, but I'm just happy to see that it's still the same stuff that we love with Nolan, that is intriguing, it's exciting, we don't know what the story is, but yet it just looks so interesting and just such going to be a blast to watch. But also it just looks like it's going to be a different type of story, almost like Inception to a degree, but I still think it's going to be different enough to where we come out of this theater still loving it and not feeling like it's the same thing we've seen from Nolan before.
My number 1, can you guess it?
Well, there's no Star Wars movie.
Don't bring it up! Oh my God, don't bring it up.
No, I
Mandalorian,
don't have any clue.
Next year, can't wait.
No,
my number 1, if you guys have been watching the top 50 of the decade, Kyle and I clearly discovered that one director was on our list so much, and that was Denis Villeneuve, and Dune is the movie that I am the most anticipated for, because I have seen the other movie, didn't like it, I haven't read the book, I've heard it's weird, I've heard there's a lot to it, and guess what? I don't want to know anything else about it. I want to go into Denis Villeneuve. I love Blade Runner 2049, I love Prisoners, I love all his movies,
that cast
and
is stacked.
I want to see that incredible cast with an incredible director go deep in sci-fi. That and Chris Nolan with Tenet is going to be a great year, hopefully, for sci-fi, because that movie could be anything to me. I'm walking into somebody's imagination off of a novel I haven't read, and it hopefully will draw me in to want to read the book, to see why he adapted everything that way. Dune is going to be amazing. I love Denis Villeneuve, and I can't wait to see it.
That's a good choice.
What did you guys think? Please comment below. Let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, share. What is your list? Do you hate our choices? Do you love them? Comment below. Let us always know. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.